ordained radio, TV, gospel ministry, all bringing the end time news, the undiluted word of God, dynamic praise, trending health, gist, and facts. And we are here again on end time prophetic news analysis. I am with my co-host, Pastor Alfred Jimo, and my name is Adinike Ajayi. It was a wonderful news you casted,
Thank you very much.
The first one actually alarming because the US actually funding all the, we've been fighting this Boko Haram in Nigeria for a long time, and we had no idea how they got here. We have no idea who they are or who is actually funding them, and now we actually know. So we want to quickly go over this news headline and also analyze it in line with prophecy that is being fulfilling. So we'll start with the first news headline. Yes, hiding the funding of terrorism and the fact that they are even actually using their citizens' taxpayer money to fund all this. I don't know.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Nick. And I want to say hello to all our viewers, the lovers of this station who are following us, liking, commenting on our programs. I want to thank you very much for always going with us. Well, as we have said, there are a whole lot of news out there in the cyberspace, but the ones that will bring to you on End Time Prophetic News are the ones that are pointing towards prophecies of the second coming of Jesus Christ. They are talking about this news that we just reported, this report about the USAID, that is United States International Agency for Development, that is the full meaning of USAID, sponsoring Boko Haram and other terrorist organizations across the world. Like Nick said, it is alarming. It is alarming to hear that a United States government agency will be doing this kind of thing. Why? Because USA is the beacon of a democracy all over the world. They see themselves, since the collapse of the Berlin Wall that brought to an end the Cold War between the West and the East, that is Russia and America, USA, the breakdown of the USSR. America has seen itself as the proponent of democracy, of a rule of law, of justice and things like that. To now hear that an agency funded that is even under the home state of America, the State Department of America is now using American taxpayers' money to sponsor terrorism and even sponsor people that are working against the interests of America is very, very alarming and a weird information. And you will recall that when the news first filtered out, there were a whole lot of controversies about it. People, expressed rage and all that. But let's put that aside. Why are these things happening? That is just to tell us that there are some underworld people who are, infiltrating all nations, even including America, to achieve their purposes. And these underworld people, they are working to put in place to establish the system of the Antichrist. A whole lot of things are going underground that people don't know next to nothing about that is happening. So that under America, they are using America's money, America's agency to even work against America. It is very sad. Because, like you said, in Nigeria, people began to wonder. You hear that Boko Haram, they just get some people. Where do people that are not trained, they just bring them and they are Nigeria army, Nigeria military forces have been fighting Boko Haram all this while. They have not been able to. Nigeria that went to Liberia to go, Nigeria military army that went to Liberia to go and stop the war. We know what ECOMOG did in Africa, in West Africa, in Liberia, in Sierra Leone, and all those places. This same military will now face Boko Haram, and they have been fighting all this while. They cannot fight it. It is because there are people that are sponsoring them and giving them superior weapons. Where are these weapons? People have been wondering, where are these weapons coming from? Why are they coming to Nigeria and so on and so forth? This revelation now shows us what is responsible for the strength of the Boko Haram and other terrorist organizations around the world.
Let's move to the second news headline, which is update on Israeli Hamas war. The war had stopped. They signed this agreement and they actually stopped the war. But now, what's really going on?
As stated in the news item, the ceasefire orchestrated and achieved by Donald Trump, shortly before and shortly after he came on board, was a peace accord that includes ceasefire and that put in 3 stages: ceasefire, consolidation, and all the rest. If you listen to the news again, now it's supposed to be in 3 phases. They are still in the first phase, and the first phase was supposed to end by March 1st. So, and there are things to have achieved within that first stage, that first phase. Part of it, mainly the first phase, was to see to the exchange of hostages. God bless you. Exchanges of hostages from both sides. Now, which they immediately started. The Hamas released some of the hostages that were taken on October 7 when that attack was launched, and other hostages. And Israel also released some. If you listen to the news very well, you'll see Hamas has released, out of the 33 hostages, I think they have released about 20-something hostages. They are still holding on to some. And Israel also has released about 730 hostages, from Hamas to them, because they have more hostages, on their own side. Now, this has been going on. This first phase was supposed to end by March 1. But unfortunately, Hamas did not keep faith with one of the hostages they wanted. Israel wanted them to release. And as a result of that, what should have rounded up that phase, which was to allow more aid materials to enter into Gaza, medical and health materials to enter, food and things like that. Israel did not allow it. Then, or to also make Hamas people to go back to their land was part of it, to cross back those who have been displaced from their land, to cross back. They were to open way for them to cross. But because Hamas refused to release that woman, that Israel is a civilian woman that Israel wanted them to release, Israel decided not to allow that next phase to go in. So right now, at the end of it in March 1, what they did was to go for another round of renegotiation of the first phase of it, and see whether they can quickly round it up or give an extension. So, but eventually what had happened there was that from the information that we were able to gather here and there, was that they were thinking of extending the period of the first phase of it in order to allow other things to be fulfilled. But ever since then, now there have been escalations of the hostility again. Israel has been bombing the northern Gaza again. America has also been bombing the Houthis enclave in Lebanon, in Syria, and everything. So the whole thing appears to have even fallen down. But they are still pursuing the negotiation at Qatar, which we are hoping that probably that might resolve the problem that is on ground.
Thank you, sir. So the last news headline, which is 3 years blood moon, a signal pointing to a season of war.
The can't think about it is the fact that it is happening. The one that happened in 2024 happened at a period when the Purim festival in Israel was taking place. The one that happened this year too coincided with the Purim festival in Israel. The one that is going to happen in 2026 also will be happening during the Purim festival. And that festival is the only festival in Israel history that is based on, that have its background root in arms conflict. That is a festival that Israelis do celebrate to remember what Haman did when he planned against Mordecai, And God used Esther. By God's divine intervention and Esther's bravery, God decided to upturn that thing. It would have been a war, a genocide war against the Israelites, and all the Israelites will have been exterminated in that this thing. So each time they are celebrating Purim in Israel, they are trying to remember that story of Mordecai and Esther and Haman. So for any red moon eclipse to now fall into that period is a signal for escalation of hostility and war. And now looking it against the background of what is happening right now in Israel and Hamas and in the Middle East and Iran and Syria, Lebanon and all of them, it shows that with the blood moon that is now rising back to back like that is a signal that we are going to be having more and more wars. And even the peace that Donald Trump is trying to achieve between Ukraine and Russia has not been able to be effective. So all of these are pointing to, remember, war also is one of the critical signs of the end of the world, as stated in Matthew chapter 24 and Luke chapter 21.
Thank you very much for this analysis. We'll keep on watching, and we admonish our audience to also keep on watching for all these signs in the universe, signs all around us in the world, and let us also pray alongside. So with this, we'll be rounding up here, but we'll also be coming back next time that you see this program. We'll also be coming back with more news headlines that are fulfilling prophecy, in line with prophecies that is being fulfilled. So we'll have to stop right here. Thank you so much, Sir.
Thank you for having me.
And also thank you to our audience for staying with us this far. So we'll meet again next time. We'll say bye.
Bye. And stay rapturing.